Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Sandeep Walia, Head of the Department, University Institute of Tourism and Hospitality Management, Chandigarh University. Today we are going to discuss the module Role and Importance of Technology in Aviation Industry under the paper Aviation Industry, Ticketing and Frontier Formalities. After completing this module, the students will be able to understand that what aviation industry is all about. They'll also come to know about the role and importance of technology in the aviation industry. They'll also learn about the contribution of technology towards aviation industry. They'll also get familiar with the developments in the technology in aviation industry. Like most of the industry have their growth speed, the aviation industry is showing remarkable growth and is assumed to be one industry which is growing at a very fast pace. The industry of aviation includes the development, movement and proper management of aircrafts. In the aviation industry, the most noticeable common image that builds up is of air hostesses and pilots, that is crew, but nevertheless there are other staff like ground staff, ticketing and reservations, catering, baggage handling staff, loads and controls who equally contribute to make aviation a giant industry. Others to name are the in-flight managers, red caps or the baggage handlers, food suppliers, aircraft engineers, reservation staff, air traffic controllers, ground force, etc. Let us now discuss that what is aviation industry. The universal set of aviation industry is huge and large. It will, in its comprehensiveness, include multiple facets of aviation, the staff colleges of airlines, vendors, suppliers, the lawmakers and the regulators. The industry of aviation works overtime to take people from one part of the globe to the another part. Ferry cargo take flight along the globe, and one of the greatest gift from this industry is the 57 million employment opportunities that this industry has created all over the globe. The business is also huge in the real sense, producing more than 2 trillion US dollars of the business in the financial year. In terms of growth rate, it has been noticed that the growth rate has been seen up to 7%. This figure includes the business travelers and the travelers moving for recreation and for fun. In terms of market size, United States of America rule the roost by having a magnum share of 33% of the globe's total aviation industry market. Let us now discuss the history of aviation. One of the earliest fantasy and known dreams of man is his dream to fly like birds. It is one fantasy which has always fascinated the early man. It was not until the 19th of the century that the dream of man were answered and humankind could achieve some success in this field too. The first step to this dream achievement was the concept of airship, which was a semi-spherical shaped silk ball which was filled with the gas named hydrogen, and to it was harnessed a wooden boat to its base. It was a team of 6 or 8 people who propelled this invention through the ropes, which were harnessed to this balloon in a fashion similar to what the parachuters do their maneuvering of the parachutes. The experimentation continued, and so was the zest for flying. The dawn of the 20th century, the experiments were done with gliders and balloons. It was the morning of 17 December 1903 that the siblings of Wright brothers named Oliver and Wilbur Wright, who belonged to Kitty Hawk, North of Carolina in the USA, made the 4-year-long experimentation successful with their invention, which was 120-foot, 12-second length of flight, that too by a powered machine, and this machine had more weight than the air. As an inventor, they were the first one, but as a passenger, Leon Delagrange will be written as the first aviation passenger that two feat achieved in the year 1908. With this, the commercialization entered and the concept of scheduled flights arrived. With the dawn of the 1914, that is January 1st, Glenn Curtiss presented to the world his latest invention of a craft which could fly as well as land on the water. Boeing brought its modern passenger airliner, the Boeing 247, which was presented to the world in the year 1933. The early planes were dependent on the cockpit and moving parts of the crafts. The connections were mechanical and were connected through yoke, rudders, pedals, etc. The pilots were in pressure. Slowly, with the growth in aircraft technology, and growth was seen in more reliable computers, full authority digital engine control systems, fly-by-wire electronic movements of planes, navigation and autopilot. The flight engineer became useless in the year 1989 with the arrival of Boeing 747-400. The development of technology can be gauged by the fact that from 1000 dial gauges and knobs in cockpit, it just reduced to 365. Fly-by-wire as a major technology development in the sense it removed mechanical connection of the pilot control and aircraft control surface from knobs and gauges to electronic signals. The movement of pilot was converted into signals and the jets could make the move deciphering these electrical signals. Here the main issue was that many a times pilot may be harsher with their movements. In such a scenario, the predetermined limits of jet maneuvering stop the jet to get unstable. It will also alert the pilot in the cockpit through an alarm which will ring inside the cockpit, giving an alarm to the pilot. Then the next we are going to discuss is how is technology important in the aviation industry. Whenever there is a voting for the most popular public transport mode, it is the aircrafts that win. Aircraft these days are an extension of the technology dependency that human race is suffering from. The three symbols that define the aviation in the modern lingua are the speed, efficiency, comfort and the safety. But nevertheless, as much claimed as the safest mode, still flight accidents are fatal and rock the world every now and then. Things cannot be blamed to the technology, as there are other forces like human touch, geographical conditions that are beyond human capacities and play their dynamics in aeronautics. Thus, it has to be remembered that how much we try hard to develop technology, but we cannot be 100% sure of its success. The airports were dwelling in more passengers, often more than their own capacity. It was the technology that came to rescue, and the airport management understood that this unending increase in traffic can only be managed with the technological aids. The airlines want to progress, increase revenue and business, bring in more machines and automation, but they do not want to lose their touch with their customers. Innovation management along with new partnerships between the information technology giants and the aviation players will be forged, which will define the future. The prime focus of the airlines has to be on the integral or internal protocol technologies, and areas like end-to-end services and airport integration can also not be neglected. Let us now discuss about the early years and the new technological areas of the airlines industries. More and more functionality has been added with regards to the customer relationship management. Every aspect like inquiry, check-in desk, boarding has been touched by technology revolution. The focus of air carriers has also been their internal systems which needed integration too. These were areas which were ignored for too long and needed dire attention in the modern times. Distribution channels of the airline sectors also were requisitioned and revisited. The sales departments moved towards the e-commerce, which has or was growing at a fast pace and looked promising. Rome, the journalist approach, that approach was shifted toward the specialist one, which included content management, which focused on a customer-friendly site movements. Business intelligence tools, from superficial knowledge handling to move deeper into the knowledge domain. Personalized softwares, each visitor or customer will feel that the site has been tailor-made as per his or her choice. These solutions, which are mentioned above, may have not been tried and tested by all the players, but many airlines have started toying with them. The airlines are developing the technology and their business around these frameworks. Of course, cost management is one of the most quoted business challenge that these aviation players have been stating. Once certain processes are developed, then their new uses in other areas could also be found and be integrated into overall e-commerce platform. A simple example could be the catering activities, which is defining by streamlining quick communication with other vendors and business partners. Dear students, let us now discuss about the technology of internet. The internet has been the revolutionary object in the technological domain of an airlines. It could lead aviation industry to work with effectiveness and safety, that too yielding cost effectiveness. There are certain areas where the airlines fight for technology with their competitors, but in certain areas it serves the common purpose of these aviation players. The two strategic goals in front of the airlines in the modern era is to attain proximity to the customers and become cost efficient as much as possible. The pace at which the technology is changing is too high, and hence to strategize for the airlines is difficult and challenging. As we have already entered in the year 2017, the future seems both exciting and worrying. As the technology sector moves forward faster than any other sectors can keep up, issues such as cybersecurity becomes more and more challenging at a faster rate. Some of the insights provided by International Air Transport Association regarding such problems are: drones and chatbots, the new era technology for aviation industry. Augmented reality is more likely to penetrate the airlines and airports in future to support ground operations by the use of the augmented reality. Chatbots are simply known as artificial intelligence, which could act as a single gateway for passengers. Indoor positioning system or beacon technology. Beacon makes it possible for airports and airport vendors to know where people are and to send them relevant personal information like gate number, baggage, carousel, flight status, or even a passenger's favorite coffee shop. Though this new advanced technology may be used in future to make aviation sector more convenient and advanced, the next we are discussing is contribution of technology in aviation industry. The first one to take on is social CRM, that customer relationship management. The use of social media has contributed a lot as it proved to be a crucial element in customer relationship management. Platforms like Twitter and Facebook have opened up new channels through which companies can engage their clients and foster customer loyalty. Digitalization is another factor which has made the work of airlines easy by the adoption of electronic formats for key regulatory and tracking documents. Use of advanced and highly equipped passenger services units like overhead PSUs and armrest PSUs along with wireless headgears and tablets instead of backrest TVs for entertainment of the passengers. For comforts of passengers, many airlines are also planning to install new technological equipments such as automated passenger seats for comfortable flights where passengers do not have to struggle with the positioning of the seat for comfort. Navigation technology is another such contribution of technology made in the aviation industry. Highly secured software to protect the private information of the company and the passenger both is another such or rather very important contribution of the technology. The next one is the departure control systems. DCS or the departure control system is generally an integrated multiple host system or solutions for automatic check-in, boarding and load control or management. They are offered by various brands and can have stood to test of time. It is rich in terms of functionality and have proven their worth on all kinds of models and crafts. It is a boon for ground handlers and support multi-airlines. It also supports the alliance network and the priority aspect of passenger handling. Some of the common features of these DCS are that they are in synchronization with the standard International Air Transport Association messages. They not only focus on airlines formalities at the airport but also at the governmental requirements like immigrations and customs. These DCS are trained to accept manifest of the passengers from any kind of reservation systems. These DCS can interact with a variety of e-ticketing data. They are equally equipped to handle interlines and through check-ins. Often, the DCS are connected to reservation systems so that revenues can be maximized. Dear students, let us now discuss the changing technology in check-ins. The first one in this segment is web check-in. The passengers can check in through the websites of the airlines on their computers, laptops or handheld devices. The passenger can select a seat online, save or take a copy of their boarding cards, that too within the comfort of one's home or one's workplace. In case there is no check-in luggage, then the passenger can directly report to the governmental formalities. The second one is the check-in via kiosks. Kiosks are one of the finest examples of self-service at the airports. These kiosks help the passengers to check in themselves and even obtain a copy of their boarding pass. In case the check-in baggage is there, then the passenger has to report in advance. Otherwise, the passenger can directly move to the security areas. The next one in this segment is tele-check-in services. The check-in can also be done through telephone. Generally, airlines have a toll-free number which when dialed take you through menus and one can complete a check-in on phone itself. Generally, initially, airlines tried this with only business and first class passengers and frequent flyers, their members, but later it was extended to all. Generally, these facilities are available 24/7. In tele-check-in, one has to collect the boarding passes from the counters. In case of issue, the toll-free numbers provide all possible assistance. Students, let us now discuss about other new technology innovations at airports globally. Technology is ruling the aviation sector not only in terms of crafts and planes, but at the airports too. Cork Airport pioneered with Flight Radar 24 to offer an app where real-time tracking of craft can be done. The travelers can get the exact location of the craft arriving and taking off from this Irish airport. Just at a click, the passenger can obtain information like aircraft's altitude, equipment, speed, route and total distance travelled. Tiger Air Australia's efforts to provide iPad check-in have provided a revolution at airports. The check-in agents have iPads in hand and this provides a lot of mobility to the staff. The staff can roam freely and check in the guests at cafeterias, souvenir shops, anywhere away from the traditional check-in desks. This provides a break from queues too. These iPads are special as they have an app named Max Airporty by Liberty. Fully automated self-service bag drop systems are a new rage with the airlines. Sinai International Airport has this facility from AirAsia, which is a self-service bag drop solution. Scan and fly. The passengers have option of printing their own bag tags at the check-in in kiosks. The passengers need to scan their boarding pass with a handheld scanner and if their bags are found in order in terms of size and weight, both the kiosk will accept the baggage automatically. This is one of the first efforts for unmanned check-in, and it hardly takes 3 minutes approximately to complete the check-in process that to unmanned. Abu Dhabi's document authentication is an innovation which can speed up the entry process. As soon as the passenger put their boarding pass for scanning, which is to be done by machine or home printed, the data is sent for validation. The information is sent for validation to the airline's DCS. The information is put in front of the security agent on a GUI. This will help quick validation and verification of passenger documentation, which will speed up and be efficiently done. Aruba Airport has its story of happy flow biometric, where facial recognition technology will be used for the identification of a passenger at check-in, bag drop-off, border control and aircraft boarding. Once the passport and facial features of passenger are linked together at the first check-in point, the passengers does not have to multiple times display their boarding cards and passports. Customer service robots are an option for passenger airport experience. This is continuation to online check-ins, home printed and self bag tags, self-service kiosks and mobile branding cards. Thus, if become successful, will remove the much talked about human touch. Geneva Airport has introduced the concept of robots. The airport has collaborated with Blue Boutiques, where the customer service agent services are provided by robots for offering directions and to lead the passengers there. Initially, the robots were deployed in baggage reclaim area where they can be used in optimum. The robots can guide passengers for baggage collection, foreign exchange counters, washrooms and train ticket counters. Passengers touch the screen, select the service they want to use, and they are led by a robot to the desired service. The debate for robots versus humans does exist, as the airport environment is too stressful and humans by their humane touch provide comfort and relaxation. So the technology experts are of the view that the robots will complement the humans and will not replace them. Dear students, let us now summarize what we have discussed and learned in this module. The contribution of technology in the field of aviation is very fast, and it is not possible to calculate the exact amount of contributions made, but we can definitely say that it has made our lives far more easier than it was earlier in terms of the air transport. The recent advancements in the technology not only brought innovative ideas and concepts but also forced the companies to think out of the box in order to meet the competition in the markets. On one hand, the recent technological advancements and innovations has not only helped the companies and service providers to conduct smoother operations in quickest and the best possible manner, but on the other hand, they have also provided customers with the affluence of selecting services and service providers while sitting at their home. With these words, I sum up the module. Thank you.